Okay, so I have my coffee, right? And I'm going to be honest. The Lord said, go back on. I said, Father, now I just got off. But if I'm not obedient, I'm going to be in trouble. Father, please, let me do this quickly and get off. Okay, let's talk about how you can hinder the work of the Lord when you judge the word as it's coming forth. When you're listening to people speak, be very careful how you position your thoughts. Be very careful. Adjust your levels. You may have to tell yourself, okay, no, we're not going to think that right now. We're going to wait until after the fact. Because in real time, it puts a stench in the atmosphere. And it makes it hard to work in that atmosphere. Think. You're in church. And the preacher is going forth. And you sitting there saying, oh, really? That makes it hard to operate. Just that one little piece. Let's think of something else. Why he got to always say it like that? You know, I'm really tired of this. I really wish I don't even know why I'm still here at this church. You ain't said anything, you thought it, but you put that in the atmosphere, y'all. And then for those that are not praying and tuned in to what the preacher is saying, you turn to your neighbor behind you and start having a good old conversation, disrupting the atmosphere. That's a distraction. And I know that because even in my classroom, there has to be a certain level of peace in order for me to teach. So if that's the case in the natural, come on, when we sitting in church in the spirit, come on now. Do y'all not realize that the preachers, when they preach, they are really operating in spirit? God is speaking through them. You have to make the atmosphere conducive for his presence. So when you begin to watch and listen to people on Facebook, if you know you have the wrong attitude, wait till they're done. Because what you'll do is you'll slow things down. Y'all can come back and watch. Look, I'm just being obedient. Please, you don't have to. I won't say your name if you don't want me to say your name. But I need you to come on if you want to be a part. I see my friend walking past me. I ain't going to say her name. But nonetheless. Back to what I was saying. Even if you are wanting to change, but you haven't gotten to that point to where you can watch what you say, watch how you think, watch what you think, especially on Facebook Live, then wait before you watch it. And if you know that you have that issue, but you want to watch anyway, then do this. Pray about it before you click on. Now, this brings me to this point. If you do not have a team at your church as leaders, pastors, apostles, prophets, those that are pastoring, you don't have a team that is working the atmosphere as you preach, you might want to develop one. And let me tell you why I say that. When I first started FCIC, and for those, this may scare some of you, it shouldn't, but the truth is the truth. I had a church, but it was spiritually. And I had people working the atmosphere as I spoke. That meant when a person started judging what was going on, they would pray so that the atmosphere would be clear. Y'all can't be afraid of the truth. The truth makes you free. Guys, I've been bound for a long time. part of it was fear. The enemy would use different situations and make me feel as if, hey, sweetie, would make me feel as if I was not who God called me to be, afraid to speak up, false evidence appearing real. And that fear that I existed in kept me, it delayed me, it kept me from walking in who I was. Do you know how many people I could have blessed had I just accepted the truth? And the truth was, I am who God says that I am, not what people try to make me to be. So if you don't have a team that is praying as you're going forth to clear the air, get that developed. That is very important. That is very, very, very important. You must understand that God is doing a thing, but he wants the atmosphere right, and he deserves that. So put some preventive measures in place. How do you fight the atmosphere out? Well, there are some ways that you can work spiritually that I'm not going to unveil on this video, so that the glory will fall like it's falling right now. So that the channel is clear, so that we can hear what it is that God is trying to say, so that we can become better, so that we can grow, so that we can understand what judging a person does to the atmosphere, so that we can understand how it kills the influence, how that attitude that you have makes it hard for the preacher to preach, how when you get up and go to the restroom, how it disrupts things. You have to be very sensitive to what's going on when you're in service. And when you don't understand that, when you have never been there, it doesn't make sense. You're like, I'm just going to the restroom, gotta go. I get that. But when you walk into that atmosphere of the Word of God, in other words, when the preacher gets up and he says that prayer, and he is opening himself to receive from God, you are now, it's like you're sitting in the heavens. And you have to be very careful what you do, what you say, how you speak, because we are at that point receiving instruction. Hi, my darling, I miss you. And if we are receiving instruction at that present moment, then what has to happen? You have to have your ears open to hear. Oh, I love you too, my darling. I love you so much. You have to have your heart open to receive. You have to, open rebuke is better than secret love. That's when that comes. And see, what happens is, and I've said this so many times, when over the pulpit you feel that you are being exposed, that's when if no one is praying for you and there is no team put together to fight the atmosphere so that you can receive what God is saying, you begin to pray for yourself and you say, God, I know this is for me, and I know people know my business, but I need to look past the fact that I am being exposed, and I need to hear the instructions so that I can grow. Because see, what the enemy wants to do, he wants to shut your ears, shut your heart, so that you can't receive. That's why you have to be careful how you judge people. That's how you have to be careful what you say about people, especially when the word is going forth. Save that for later. Let God speak so that people can get what it is that they need to make it throughout the day or throughout the week. It's time out for going to service just to say, look at the outfit that I bought. It's time out for going to service so that you can see your best friend. That's your meeting place. No, you can do that another time. Let's reverence God. Let's give him the glory and the honor that is due to him. How do you do that? Walk into that sanctuary humble. Give to that sanctuary what it is you need to give, meaning your heart, your minds, your ears. Worshiping him truly in spirit and in truth. Coming with that mindset of, you know what, Father? You know, I messed up today. I messed up this week. And I know better, but thank you for loving me. Thank you for giving me another chance. Coming with that expectation that, Father, you are going to do a thing today. I'm bringing that presence with me. I expect a thing. And then the preacher doesn't have to work that hard. And then praise and worship is really praise and worship. It's not someone up there acting as if they're a cheerleader. That's the real deal. What do you expect? And you come with no expectation and then get mad. See, I knew I shouldn't have came today. You get in what you put out. Excuse me, I said that backwards then. That's funny. But what you put into the service is what you get out of it. Sometimes people want comic relief, and their timing is not right. So for those that understand the spiritual realm, you know what just happened. But that's okay. I'm a teacher by nature. So that's what we call a teachable moment. And for those that don't get it, hopefully you get it right now. Because that's what you call a distraction. So, why did God allow that to happen? Because he wants you to understand what it means to disrupt the atmosphere. But when you have people fighting, when you have a team together, whoo! Yes, ma'am. You don't come for a show. But the show, for example, for those needing to make that connection, that's right. You know, I'm not coming to service so you can see me. I need to connect with the spirit in you. You know, it may be that you did what you needed to do all week, and you know, I need you this week. Or I did what I needed to do. You did what you needed to do. And when we connect, it's going to be an explosion, honey. Because let me tell you, when I go to BBM and I sit next to my sister, there is something that hits the atmosphere that sets us both on fire. It's like it takes us to a higher height, a deeper depth in him. That's why it's worth doing it right all week. Because it's like it's a reward when you get around others that love him and that live this life the way it's supposed to be lived. And so, you know, to cry is not it's not a bad thing, because this is glory that I'm feeling. The tears you see that are falling are not sad tears. They're glory tears. I can feel his presence around me. See, that's why this life is worth it. That's why it's worth it. So, Father, I thank you for this time and opportunity to speak to your people. Thank you, Father, for giving me the ability to know you. There's somebody trying to help me. You see the difference? Y'all, it's real. So, when you are working the atmosphere, your job is not over until he says, I say on the one, I say on the watch, pray. Shake somebody's hand, hug somebody and tell them you love them. That's when your job is done. Because when it's offering time after the sermon, the enemy starts working. Because at that time, seeds need to be planted. And that seed that's planted could be nothing but obedience. What do you mean obedience? Obedience in the sense of, you know what, I don't have it, but I am going to reverence what's going on right now. All I have is 50 cents, but I'm going to give my 50 cents. You know what, I don't have that, but at least I can pray. See, what happened is I got to the end, and I'm about to give a conclusion and close this out. This is a teachable moment because y'all got to know. And instead of the team that was helping me continue on, they stopped because they said, oh, she's done. No, not until I hit finish. So yes, some training is going on. I'm called to this thing, and there's no need to be ashamed or fearful. It's real. Because what y'all fail to realize is when a word is dumped like this, especially in the sanctuary, somebody needs to be, and for those that can see spiritually, you see exactly what I'm doing. Digging in that soul. Making it ready for the seeds to be planted. Guys, I'm not afraid of what it is God has given me. Okay, and I'm looking down just because I'm looking at myself. I can look up, but I just want to see what I look like on camera. That's not vanity. I'm just making sure that, you know, I look okay. But I am okay, and all is well. And I know some of you got to go. And I appreciate you listening and tuning in. And I feel like my friend Mary and I just had church this morning. Just me and I. Because this thing is real. And she can identify. She knows it's real. That's my cousin. That's Nina. That's coming on. Because we all work spiritually. And we help each other. It means for some, I'm praying with you. For some, I hear you. For some, I understand you. And for the rest, I'm not afraid to say that I'm a spiritual realm worker. You know, when the preachers are in the pulpit, and for those that have to go, you can go ahead and dismiss yourself. You are dismissed. But I can understand how when a preacher is up preaching, it gets so good to them. It's like they don't want to let it go. Because, see, what y'all fail to realize, this life is not popular. So when you receive love from God, and it comes in a form of glory falling on you as you speak, you don't want to let that go. And these aren't tears of, I'm lonely. These are not tears of, I'm sad. These are tears that say, thank you, Father, for loving me. Thank you, Mary. I love you too. I love you too, Nina. This is what it means to be called to ministry. And I kindly accept. Yeah, I should have some tissue or a handkerchief, but I didn't plan on crying on camera, you know, and just being obedient. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go so that you guys can go on with your day. And I pray and I hope that something was said to help you help somebody else today, whether that's with a smile or a hug, or even one of these, I got you. Got you, babe. I'm praying for you. God bless you and God keep you. It's truly my prayer.